I am recording right now. Ronnie is coming as well. Okay, hello. Just in the nick of time because I am ready to get started. And I have a slide presentation because I love to stay on task. And it also provides you with a guidance while we're walking you through this vision boarding session. So thank you for taking time on a Saturday to join me to figure out maybe where you're stuck in life, what you would like to get out of life, and how a vision board can help you in that process. And here we go. All right, so I need to maybe do it this way because, okay, all right. I'm trying to put you guys, all right, here we go. So here are my intentions for today for you guys, okay? Introduction, I told you that I am Cecilia Wyman. I've been doing this for 8 years. Our intentions for today is to set you on the right path for figuring out where you are right now and where you would like to be in the future. And there are actually 3 sessions to this. Usually I have done vision boards in one sitting, and I realized over time that having a pre-session, which we are doing today, is very powerful because it gives you the opportunity to really think about what you want. And with that, you will then be able to create the vision board that's really going to make a difference for you. And I know somebody is not muted. So if you guys, oh, I think maybe Diana, did you have a question?
Yes, I wanted to tell you that you hit the participants and then that's how you can mute or unmute everybody.
That's what I thought I did. Oh, maybe I didn't. Okay, thank you. Participants, but it says invite. So strange. Oh, here, now it finally did. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Haha. You are the best. I appreciate it. I just need to see if there is anybody else in the waiting room. Okay, doesn't look like it. Okay, cool. Oops, there we go. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh my gosh. Where did my presentation go? Here we go. That's what I thought I clicked. Hey, technology, right? And then you need to just stay calm. All righty, so here we go again. So the first session is setting us up for success. And the second session is where you will actually create your vision board, because I think it takes time for us to really think about what we want, and then giving us the opportunity to allow us to find the right ingredients, as I would like to call it, to create the vision board. If you want to let me know by show of hands or in the chat, who has created a vision board before? I know, no, Myra's first time. Your nephew, Player, said it's the first time. I remember Annette is working on hers currently. Okay, so it's a mix. Very cool. It is a powerful tool, and I will get to that in a minute. And then we will talk about questions for yourself. So this is the do-it-yourself kind of a workshop where I will walk you through questions and you will be answering them right now, because I know if I ask you to do that after the session, like, life happens and it's not going to happen. So we're going to do it right now. And I will give you some examples on what vision boards can look like and how to prepare for session number 2. The actual making of the vision board. Diana has a question. No, or you just didn't put it down? Oh, I just lower. Oh, let me lower your hand. There we go. Oh, nope, hands back up. Question? No. Okay. I'm trying to. Okay, there we go. No. Wouldn't it be cool if that's what the whole entire presentation and workshop today is about? I am going to guide you through that process of, wouldn't it be cool if ... A vision board makes you really think about what you really, really want in life. It kind of helps you to get unstuck on where you are currently and reflect on, what have you been doing? What do you really want? And then go for it and create the steps to make it happen. They provide you a daily visual reminder of your dreams and goals, because we always say what you think about, you bring about, but having a visual representation of what's important to you is just as powerful, if not more powerful. And if you look at my phone, I have my vision board on my phone. So every time I turn it on, it is right there for me as a reminder. Even though I have a physical vision board, I just took a picture of it and then put it on my cell phone as a daily reminder. They will get you all fired up emotionally. And we know, or I know, when we are excited about things, we are more inclined about taking action steps towards those goals and dreams and hopes that we have. And I really believe that they are a lot of fun. One thing I really would like to ask you is this: while we're doing this, do not think about time. And I mean, do not think about how long is it going to take me to reach this goal. That's not up to you to decide. It's like source, God, the universe, whatever you believe in. It is not up to you to decide when your dreams are going to come true. So don't think about that. Also, don't really think about how it's going to happen, because if we knew how it's going to happen, then we would already have it. But by focusing our mindset on where we want to go and being open-minded for it, that's where little pieces and of the puzzle, I would like to say, will come together for us that we could have never imagined on our own. And one other thing I really would like you to not think about are all your current relationships with people you work with, current relationships with people you live in a household with, that you love, that you care about, that you care for. Do not think about that. This is about you and what you want to create for yourself. Everything else will fall into place down the road, I promise. The vision boards that you see in the slides are actually vision boards that I or people that I have done workshops with have created along the way. So it's a cool visual representation of what's possible and how they could be looking like. And I will give you more examples down the road as well. Now, here comes the part where you are being asked to get started. I will, if you're giving me your email address in the chat, I will later send you all of these questions. So the goal for this right now is writing down the answers to those questions and not necessarily take a lot of time like to write down the questions. So I'm leaving up the screen so you can see the question while you're doing it. And later, after this workshop, I will email you all of the questions, because what will happen is when you leave today, other answers will come up. It's just how it goes, because you're starting to think about it, and then you will be able to add to your list of things. And with that, I would highly recommend that for each question, you take a new page, just so you have room later tonight, tomorrow, in the next couple of days to add to your list. And here's the first thing, the first task. Without much thinking, don't think about spelling, don't think about grammar, just make a list of at least 15 things that wouldn't it be cool if. Wouldn't it be cool if? Start making a list. I'm going to set the timer, because that's our first question. And if you're done before time's up, keep thinking. Keep thinking. Okay, now, as I said, leave some room. I have a question. Please, by show of hands, raise your hand or let me know in the chat. Did you have enough time or are you still like thinking of things? We're still thinking of things. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And that's like, I'm thinking. Good. That makes me happy. Good. That means you have a lot of things that you're thinking of that would be cool. I'm glad to hear that. However, I would like to move on. So leave space, like I said, go to the next page so I can walk you through a few more questions that I think are super pertinent for this. And I don't know who else joined us. There's just a phone number, but that's cool.
Cecilia,
Yes?
if I may interrupt for 1 second, I had the first 20 seconds, I went into all the things that I cannot currently do because of COVID. And I had to stop myself from
Absolutely.
thinking that and kind of get those thoughts out of my head first because they were kind of occupying me a lot. And I'm really good at trying to not think about stuff that's not possible, but
Mhm.
not thinking about things that I have rationally I'm telling myself are not possible, but half of them are related to the current situation, and the other half I had to dig out from under that COVID rubble.
Very, very good observation. And so true. That's why I say, right? Don't think about time. Don't think about when things are happening, right? Or how they're going to happen or the current situation. So thank you for that reminder. Absolutely. Yes. And I probably could have written for like 5 minutes on this. So if we have time later, or if there's a question that you answer faster, you can always come back to this. That's another suggestion, you know? So here we go to the next one. Mhm. Okay, looking back at your list or on your own right now, what is one outrageous thing you could do for yourself this year? And outrageous could be as little as I want to get healthy. It could be as little as I am committing to spending 20 minutes on my self-care every day and not just on Sundays. Okay, so what is one thing that from that list or that comes up now that you want to do? And it could be something crazy too. You want to visit Machu Picchu, you know? And what do you enjoy doing that you haven't done in a long time? And I know with COVID, there's a lot of things that we haven't done, but I'm guiding you towards before COVID. Okay, so what is something that you haven't done in regular times? Maybe think back to your teenage years because that usually reminds of all the things that give us a lot of joy. So there are the next two questions. And you can't go back to the first task. We have about 30 seconds. There's that time again. You might be wondering, or maybe you're not, why I'm not really asking you to share. I'm not, because this is a super, super personal thing. And this is about you, about your journey, and about your questions and what you would like to do. So usually the first session, I don't really ask for a lot of feedback from people, because I really want you to feel safe to just, think in your own head about all the things that come up for you. And this is actually a picture of one of the workshops before COVID that we did. That was actually last January, here in my home. Okay, ready? When was the last time you bought yourself ... For me, it's flowers. It's something that I don't usually indulge in. So this is a way for us to realize, how do we really take care of us? Because I always know, like, we have to take care of us before we take care of anybody else, or before we take care of our careers or anything like that. We have to focus on us. And that is by doing little things for ourselves. So look back, like, when was the last time you did something great for yourself? And where do you wish to travel? And I know this is like crazy times. However, when we are back to normal, what are some of the places you would love to visit or live at? And again, I know you may not have finished that list, but you can always come back to it. It's just to get the juices flowing for us today. This is a vision board a friend of mine created, where it's a planner. It's a planner that she uses every day. And on the front, it's her current life and what she wants to focus on her current life. And the back of the planner is what she's looking for in her future life. So I thought that was a kind of a cool and very unique way of creating a vision board. Here is the next question. What type of job, work, or activity would you like to do every day? Again, don't think as much about what your current situation is like. If anything were possible, you had the magic wand, what kind of job, what kind of work or activity would you like to do every single day? This question kind of gets us thinking about what do we really enjoy? We don't always ask ourselves that because we're in such a daily routine that we don't take that moment like, okay, what if I could, wouldn't it be cool if? That is kind of like every single question here. What people do you want to spend most or more of your time with? And what do you wish you had more time for? And that could be for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for volunteering. For me, my family is in Germany. That's definitely something for me that I'm always aspiring to. How can I spend more time with them? But this is not about me. Okay, let's move to the next. There are only like 2 more slides, 3, 2. Now you really get to dream. What does your perfect day look like, feel like, taste like, smell like? Because when it's about the senses is when we're really going into what would it be like? And again, how would you spend your time if you didn't have to worry about money? That's what I want you to think about. What would your perfect day look like if you didn't have all the things that you are currently having in your life, which I know it's hard to imagine, and that's okay. It's just a way for us to guide our thinking and where we are headed and where we would like to go. Okay, we only have 3 more questions. And the next one is going to be a tough one, I think, because I believe that is also important to think about things and maybe people or relationships that do not serve us anymore and we are ready to release. And I think it's important to reflect on what have I been doing that is maybe not serving me anymore? What are maybe some relationships that I need to tweak, maybe pull away from a little bit? People I need to pull away from? And again, this is super personal just for you, but I think it's an important part of the process. Could be a routine that you have been doing and you know it's not serving you, a habit. Clutter. I am definitely one of them. And again, you can always come back to the questions later because I do want to give you the last two questions, which are more on the positive side. And these are the last two. It's more like a list. Things I love about my life. When we have gratitude for what we have currently, we can then move forward towards bringing more gratitude and more positive things into our life. So we have to take the time to ask ourselves, what are the things or people right now in my life that bring me joy? And as second things, I'll give you 2 minutes for this one because this can be a little longer. Bucket list. What are things that you want to do? Again, remember, no time limit. We're not in COVID. We don't know when this is happening. We don't know how it's happening. We just know it's something I want to do. Don't think about relationships either, remember? And list them. Grammar spelling doesn't count. You didn't hear the timer because I muted myself. So time is up because I didn't want to cough, so I muted myself. I was like, okay, I'm going to not mute myself, and then forgot to unmute myself. However, time just ran out. And these are all the questions for now. Other things may come up while you're pondering and coming back. And in the past, when I did vision board workshops, it was all done in one day. But I do believe by thinking about these questions over a few days, you really have an opportunity to hone in on what's really, really important to you. And now it is time to get started on your own journey. I will give you some examples. I'll show you some examples of vision boards, and I will also give you ideas on where you can find materials to create one. I know some people created virtually. I am still a person that loves a real one that I can touch and manipulate and cut out and do all these things. That's up to you. There's never a right or wrong answer for that, which I want you to know. And it is, again, this is a notebook, a page in a notebook. I believe that words are very, very powerful. That can be part of it. And pictures of what you are really looking for. Okay, now I need to close this for myself. Here we go. This is my current vision board that I created this summer. So you don't have to create anything in January, February. There's no right or wrong time. It's when it's your time to figure out what your next steps are, where you want to be. I always say, like, where do I want to be when I grow up, right? Haven't figured that out yet. But once you have a path and ideas, and you will notice that I have different areas that I am focusing on in my life. And that is something I'm going to let you know at the end, to categorize it possibly if you would like to think about more than one area in your life. Some people focus only on health. Some people focus only on their career or only on family, but I like for myself to focus on various areas. Here is one that is literally almost exclusively pictures, because it is a very unique way of creating for yourself. So each picture will be meaningful to you. And this is another one of mine. What I did with this is, the way I organized it is, you can see more money and less money on the left. So what that means is, these are things I can do that doesn't cost me anything or very little. When I'm going up to the top is things that will cost more for me, like figuring out my retirement. On the left are things I can do right now that I want to do right now. And the more I move over to the right are things for the long term. So that is one way to organize a vision board, right? Like, what doesn't cost a lot of money? I can sing anywhere I go, right? I can call a friend, hang out with friends. I can read. That doesn't really cost me anything, right? Volunteering is really important to me. And then figuring out my finances and my retirement. Those are things that I have to take care of now and prepare for now. And that will cost, in the bigger scheme of things, more things, and then down that way. So that is one way to organize a vision board. You can use a cork board and pin things on it. What's cool about that is you can take things off and put them back on. Maybe put a check mark or take them off and replace them with new things once you accomplished something. The sky is the limit. Your fantasy, your creativity is what is important. And it doesn't have to be huge. Mine are usually very big, but this one is a smaller version. You can also create an inspiration board. This is something I created probably 6 years ago. And it just has expressions on there that I look, it's actually sitting right here, that I look at every day. Bless you, Diana. And it is inspiring to me to see those words, right? Oh, Annette has something. Unapologetic. I'm a giant beast. Follow up, simplify, multiply. I love it. Awesome, right? So these are the encouragements. again, it doesn't have to be a vision board. It can be like an inspiration board that gets you going every single day. This is a mix between a vision board and an inspiration board that I created last year. And here you can see, like, if you have, I don't even know what these boards are called, but it's like where you can, it's almost like a push pin, but this one was made by a friend of mine, like where you can just pin things on and then take them back off. Mine is never going to be going, you know, they'll be undone. But I'm just showing you, you can use different materials in order to create one. I have had people that used an old picture frame. Just use an old picture frame, take stuff out that's in it, and use that as your canvas to create your vision board. And it does not have to cost you a lot of money to create a vision board. Here are some things where you can look to create a vision board for yourself at home. I just mentioned old picture frames, poster board, cork board, foam board, like a science trifold. Like if you have kids, like you might have a science trifold thing. I've used that a couple times. Old catalogs, calendars. I love using calendars from previous years. Notebooks. You can even, I know some people might be like, no way, old books that have words and expressions in it. If you feel like, oh my God, I can do that. I have done that. Scissors, glue, tape, colorful markers are a lot of times things that we have. You do not have to print out things. Like you could be, if you are an artist, you could be writing, you could, yeah, you do not want to see my handwriting, but you know, you do not have to have a lot of things in order to create a vision board for yourself. Some people do scrapbooking. I have used letters that I have received. Yes, I still get letters once in a while, or expressions that you see, and you can print them out if you have a printer. Advertisements that comes to your house, so much there. And old greeting cards, I have done that. And what's cool about this, now that you have the questions that you've been asking yourself, now your focus when you are looking through materials at your house or when stuff comes in the mail, your brain will be already prepared for those questions that you ask yourself, that things that are important to you that you want, and things will pop up for you. That's why I think it's important to have a longer period of time to be actually then making the vision board. When you are out and about, if you are out and about and can go out and about, you can ask at local businesses, at libraries. They always have things you can, I know our local library just went back to curbside pickup. So restaurants, some of them are still open. Your hairdresser, if you, Home Depot, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of places where you could be finding information and things that you can grab and take with you, right? And my best friend is the dollar store. Like they have, for $1, they have like stickers with expressions. They have calendars right now that are $1 that you can take apart with a beach or a palm or cute puppies or finances, whatever it is. They only cost $1, and then you have like a gazillion of them. Poster board calendars, like I said. Also, if you go sometimes like to Michael's or a craft store, but only go to the sales part. Okay, so you can buy something for like $1 or $2, because the goal is to spend as little as possible, I think. Again, I'm going to send you this in an email, or if you reach out to me, you know, I know most of you, I have your contact information already. I can send you all of this so you do not have to write it down right now. It's just an inspiration for you to think about. And if you are not quite sure from all the questions that you just answered, what do I want to focus on? What are some of the areas I could be creating a vision board about? Here are some ideas. You can think about your family situation, your finances, your spiritual life, your professional life. What about your cultural life and the way you are living your day to day? Socially, like, you know, your connections with people. Your health is always a really, really big one for me. Your partnerships, your partners. Those are things you can think about categorizing. And I am going to actually give you an exercise in a minute that has been really incredibly powerful for me to really figure out what areas, because you probably don't want to focus on all of them. Maybe pick 2 or 3, your top 2 or 3 that you're like, okay, these are really the ones I would like to create some change. And then focus on those. Now you're on your way to create your Tamara today because you took that step of joining me here today. What are your next steps? Your next steps from now until the next session. And I think actually I had some people that weren't able to join today. So I am thinking about offering this session again tomorrow. And then I'll be offering follow-up sessions next weekend. I don't know if Saturdays this time works well for everybody, but that's what I was planning. And then I think I'm going to offer a second session on Sunday, which will be the same one. And that will be the time where you will actually starting to create your vision board, and I will give you some tips and some hints and give you more examples on what to create or how to create vision boards. And then you will be able to actually start working on your own vision board. While you are waiting for that and collecting materials, please add to your questions. And even maybe some other questions will pop up for yourself. I'd love to hear if other things are percolating and coming up for you, because I always like to hear more and how this experience is happening for everybody. And here is the challenge. I have watched a video, and I can send that to you if you're interested, in where they're talking about success. What are the 2 things that successful people do in order to be successful? Well, they say you do not get because you do not ask. So if you're not asking for what you want, you can't actually have it, right? If you're not asking to get a raise, like maybe your boss is not going to give you one anyway, but what's the worst thing that can happen? No, right? And then you're still in the same spot. So the one thing is, like, you have to ask for what you want. And that's what this experience is about. And the second thing is you write it down. And here's the challenge. Take time. It took me a long time. It took me an hour and a half. I did it in one session. Write down 300 things that you want in your life. And you're going to be like, what? You crazy? What will happen at about 50 or 70? You're going to be like, I can't think of anything else. However, that's exactly when you have to keep going, because what will happen is your mind will open up to other things. And I am not necessarily just talking about things, but of course, things, right? Like, what type of car would you like? Or what type of places do you want to go? What exact places do you want to go? For me, it was also about relationships. What kind of relationships do I want? What do I want my perfect partner to look like? And what happened for me, and I think it will happen for you too, is if you really sit down and make this list of 300 things, patterns will come up. When you read through that list, you will find that certain things will pop up over and over, just maybe worded a little differently, because you don't remember what you wrote at number 50 and now you're at number 150. So for me, I realized that I want more time with my family, and it just kept popping up over and over. I want to travel. And I had many different places all over that kept popping up. And with that list, you then have an opportunity to realize, wow, my health is really important to me, because I wrote down 20 things that I want to have to get healthy. When you have that list, you then read that list, preferably every day. I do it about twice a week. And what will happen within a year, I promise, you will at least have 10% achieved from that list. Right now, I wrote my list in June, and I already have 15 things on that list that actually have come true. So, because it goes with the philosophy that what you think about, you bring about. So by you really digging deep and really writing down, and again, this is your list. I even have a list on my phone. I have a folder that I made. So I took a picture. It's in a notebook. It's, I think, like 15 pages long, a notebook, like all the things that I would like, outrageous things, some of them. But just one example, I wanted to have new living room furniture. Okay, so what happened? My friend redecorated and gave me her old living room furniture. Well, it's new to me. So that was literally like, I think 2 weeks after that. So it's not for us to figure out how it's going to happen. And somebody might say like, well, it's not new furniture. However, it is something I had on my list that I wanted for myself, new living room furniture. And I think it's a fun thing to do, especially when you get to check it off. And yes, it is a lot to do, 300 things, but it is so, so worth it for yourselves. And with that, I have a few more minutes. I don't want to go over if I don't have to, but I would like to open up for maybe if somebody is willing to just share one aha moment or something that you enjoyed or something that, yeah, you took away from today's session that you're like, yeah, I would like to share. Anybody?
Can I say something?
Yes, of course, Annette.
So to me, this is such a process because I've been doing these. So my first, I don't know, 3-4 years, I heard about it. I never did it. I always thought, it's okay. Like, that's not going to really make a difference. Well, then I finally made one. And it's funny, like the vision board, not the 300 question thing, but like the 300 things thing. But almost all of those things have happened. And then I made another one. So this is probably year 4 or 5. It's probably my 5th one that I'm going to make now. And I'm getting more specific. I'm getting more honest. And I'm getting, I don't know. I'm getting more aware of what it is really. And I'm doing a lot less in my life that I'm just getting swept by the waves or something. And yeah, it's interesting. Some things have happened a totally strange way. One time I was going to get a trip to Los Cabos. I was working on that. And that trip didn't happen. But the funny thing was that my husband ended up being transferred to Los Cabos, and I ended up going to Los Cabos to visit my husband in Los Cabos. How crazy is that, right? Like stuff like that. You think
Yes.
things are going to happen one way, and then it happens a totally different way.
Absolutely. I want to show you the power of that for myself. Yes. For example, don't think about the how because you just don't know how is going to happen. But here I have the very first thing actually I did was a vision book, not even a vision board. And there is my current home. And I had put that in this vision book thinking not much of it, but that was the house that I really, really wanted. And I put it in November, and the following year in December, it was mine. However, what had happened is in the process of my life changed. I'm on my own, and I wasn't at the time when I looked at this home. So, there's my reminder, glad to be here. And so I was moving out, moving away, and I had put this away and didn't realize that I had put this in here. And literally when I was getting ready to move into this home, I found this and I opened it up and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that I put my home in the vision book. So yes, the more specific you can be, that's why I want you to look for pictures of very, very specific things that you want. Don't just say, I want a new car. What exact car do you want? And then it's not up to you on making it happen. Same for me with a trip. I wanted to go to Atlantis. Didn't work out the way I wanted it, but I did end up going to Atlantis through a very different way. So yes, it's not up to us to figure out the how or the when. It just, we have to have the faith and actually be creating this. Yes, I could totally email you, Mia. Thank you. So anybody else? Thank you so much for sharing that, Annette. I think that's really powerful.
You're welcome.
I don't know why I muted myself. That was funny. So thank you so much for taking time. So what I will do is I will run this again, the second session next Saturday at 3, and I will also open up a one on Sunday. I just haven't figured out what time on Sunday because I know some of you are from England, but everybody else I believe is here on the East Coast. Chicago, I'm not sure if that's like an hour behind.
Well,
Right? It's about an hour behind. So, and then for that workshop, you can come with all of your materials and pictures, and I will walk you through, give you more examples, and revisit and guide you and get you started. And then you are actually creating the vision board on your own. And in the meantime, if you found value in this, let me know about it, share with your friends. And I am very, very, very grateful that you actually took the time today to be part of this workshop. And I will see you next time. And I will actually stop the recording.